So the chances are that he is more likely to be in and around the area where he actually committed the crimes in the southern area rather than heading up to the northeast. Though he may, again, remember he came into the country in the back of a lorry. You don't know whether he could try and do that to get back up to the northeast.
Yeah, very good point. And my properties have now been searched in London and in Tyneside. Police pictures show empty containers with corrosive warning labels found at one location. But it's now the fifth day since the attack, and the suspect, Abdul Ezedi, still hasn't been found. It seems to be a bit odd given the huge amounts of publicity and Ezedi's distinctive facial injuries. Well, let's catch up now with Sue Sim, who was Chief Constable of Northumbria Police and led the search for the gunman Raoul Moat. Morning again, Sue.
Good morning, Chloe.
So we're 5 days in. Are you surprised that this man hasn't yet been caught?
Well, I'm not really, on the grounds that you have to remember that he came into the country illegally. He is used to hiding. And that was exactly the position that we had with Raoul Moat. He was used to living out in the hills. He was used to hiding away. This man, Ezedi, has come into the country illegally. He was hiding in the back of a lorry. He will have been having to hide and then be able to get into the lorry. So he will be used to living rough. And while he's doing that, that makes it more difficult for the police to find him if he isn't in a property. However, the big thing that we must keep saying is anybody who sees him, anybody who thinks they've seen him, if you think you know where he is, please call the police immediately. Don't think that somebody else will have called in with your piece of information because they've seen him as well. And this is the issue. 5 days on, people think, oh, somebody else will have reported what I saw. So, that's the key thing. Everybody keep their eyes out for him. Make sure you report him to the police to make sure that he is brought for justice for these terrible crimes.
Understandably, the police aren't going to give us all of the information that they have. But do you find it surprising that the police told us that quite detailed movements of his in the minutes and hours after the attack in Clapham in London on Wednesday? And they were talking about him being on the Victoria Line, Tube Network. He was near King's Cross, but haven't told us where he exited the Underground. Do you think they don't know, or do you think that is a deliberate policy not to tell the public at this stage?
No, I think they will be absolutely telling the public where he will have got on, as they have done, where he's got off. But of course, what you've got to remember is there will be significant amounts of CCTV that need to be trawled through. In relation to the Raoul Moat incident, every time we found out where he was, we were letting the public know. Because, of course, what you need to be able to do is to follow where he's been seen. And if you don't tell the public where he was last seen, then you are actually losing out on the opportunity to track him down.
And I appreciate there's loads of CCTV footage to trawl through. And this is maybe a really naive thing to say, but he has such a visible facial injury. You would have thought he would be very easy to pick out. It's not going to be difficult to pick him out in a crowd.
No, if he's staying actually in crowds, then he should be more readily and more easily identifiable. But the issue is it's very easy when you're getting on and off a train to keep your head down. If you're well versed in trying to not be caught, then it's relatively easy to be able to walk alongside behind somebody, keep your head down. He'll know where cameras are likely to be. And it's now just a case of the public. The public are the best eyes and ears CCTV for the police. Seen something, if you know where he is, call the police immediately.
What's his mental state likely to be now when we bear in mind that he has got this serious injury on his face? he's probably not slept that much. I mean, getting food and water is probably quite tricky. I mean, give us a sense of what you would expect his mental state to be like now.
Well, we know with Mount that his mental state was deteriorating all of the time. Now, the issue is he will just be of a mind to escape, to get away, to stay out of police contact. But again, what I would appeal is, Abdul, you've been hurt. You need to hand yourself in and to deal with what you have done. You need to hand yourself in either to a hospital or you need to hand yourself into the police and they will make sure that you are treated for your injuries. But you must hand yourself in to the police.
In situations like this, do people generally on the run travel very far? Because I know that when we spoke to you on Friday, there was some discussion about maybe he would have gone back to the Newcastle area because that's where he's got links. It's obviously a substantial distance to travel. Do you think it's more likely that he's still probably in the London area?
What you tend to find is that people will go to somewhere that they know. Again, Moat knew the Cragside area in Rothbury, and that's why he went up there. There is a very good chance that he would try to get back up to the northeast, but he also will know that with his injury, that it would make him far more readily identifiable. He is not going to be able to sit on a train and not have somebody identify him. So the chances are that he is more likely to be in and around the area where he actually committed the crimes in the southern area rather than heading up to the northeast. Though he may, again, remember he came into the country in the back of a lorry. You don't know whether he could try and do that to get back up to the northeast.
Yeah, very good point. And we mustn't underplay this injury, which, from the images and the pictures which have been released, does look severe. And that's presumably is going to be causing him immense pain and health problems at this stage if it hasn't been attended to.
Absolutely. And that's why, again, I would appeal to him and to anybody who is helping him, if there is anybody, please make sure that he gets medical treatment and call the police so that he is looked after properly.